All right, folks, I'm going to run, since I just finished this mix and I just bounced it and posted it on Patreon, this 32 minute deal. I thought we could do a quick run through of the way the mix works, because I'm kind of experimenting with not doing any arranging in the DAW anymore and just taking the straight up audio out of my pedal board and seeing what we can do mix wise to make it cool and interesting. So this is what we have. I'll play a little bit of it from the beginning if I can do it right. Here we go. Enter and space. I'll just let it play for a minute or so. Moving textures going on. There's some filter movement. It's a little bit of pan movement. Anyway, that's the vibe. So this goes on for 30 something minutes. It's a generative output from the pedal board, so it's always going to sound. It's never going to sound the same, which is great. I'm going to turn this down for right now. But let me show you. I'm going to turn everything off. Turn those master bus things off. Mute these sends. Like that. Turn this off. And here's just the raw output from the pedal board. This is what I recorded from the pedal board here. I'll bounce around a little bit. So we got like... So we got some high frequency stuff, we got some low frequency stuff. A lot of low mids, it's kind of muddy. So, and we're kind of going between a 1 and a 5 chord, I think. And there's kind of a natural flow to it too. You can see whatever settings I had on the pedal board, it's like over a specific period, it gets quiet here and louder here and then quieter again. So this is what was in the board. So the first thing I did, it looks like, was some EQ. Rolled off the lows and the highs. I was kind of annoyed with some of the high frequencies. We put some decapitator on there for a little bit of saturation and some brightness back. We did a Fairchild compressor after that. Fatten it up a little bit. I just like the way it sounds too. I don't think this does it. It might hit pretty good. I'm doing like a 5 dB boost, so I might be hitting around 5 dB probably at max. There it hits pretty good there. Controlling the dynamics a bit, so that's that. And then we do some soothe to clean up some of those harsher high frequencies a little bit. And then I was feeling like there needed to be a little more movement in this. So I added a filter freak. I'm gonna turn this down again. That is sweeping the high frequencies. So I just turned it on, and I've got a really slow LFO set to control the low pass. So it's very slowly gonna open and close, like this. I'm gonna jump forward in audio here. It's got a really high pass sound, or low pass sound, sorry. And it opens itself up. So now it's like fully open there basically, and it'll start going back down. So that, I liked that. I got it set to where it gets a nice lower frequency thing going on at its lowest thing. And this gives some good movement, but I thought it would be fun to do another filter freak afterwards, sweeping a high pass filter. So these are working in series. This one first, this one second. So this one's rolling off all the highs right now, and this one's rolling off some lows too. So we're getting some interesting, almost band pass sounds at some times, depending on how these filters interact. So this will obviously thin the sound out as this LFO moves along. So right here we're moving to a spot where it's like almost fully open. The lows are all the way coming through and the highs are as well. And these are set at slightly different rates, so they'll never land, or asynchronous is basically the whole thing there. So we have a nice filter sweep, double filter sweep on the original sound. The next trick I did was to do 2 buses. I got 2 bus sends. I got 2 bus sends from this. Bus 1 is a delay. Bus 2 is a reverb. They are both pre-fader sends, which the only reason I did that was so I could turn this fader down and still be sending to those. Doesn't really matter too much. So then this first one is the delay. Well, I'm gonna do the reverb first. Bus 2 is reverb. I'm doing this Valhalla vintage verb in cathedral mode, this new mode, which sounds great. I'm gonna unmute it. And what you'll hear is the original track being sent to it. That's all you're gonna hear from it right now. It might be kind of subtle. Old 2-bus Andy. So this is just gonna add a little extra width to the sound. Potentially fill in some gaps left by gaps in the sounds. We get a 10-second decay. I was messing with like a 13 or 14, that felt a little too long. But like a 11-second will be good. So that's that. And then, but there's a second thing being sent to a delay, and this one is interesting. I'm gonna mute the reverb and unmute this and bring it up. And bring the main track down. So what this is the pedal board audio being bussed over to this delay. So this is Valhalla delay in lo-fi mode. So that's why it sounds all messed up like that, because it's lo-fi. But I have it in ping pong mode at the max delay time. So 20,000 milliseconds, which is 20 seconds, right? So what's gonna happen is audio plays here. It gets sent to this bus. 20 seconds later, we'll hear it in the left. And then an additional 20 seconds later, we'll hear it on the right. Which 20 seconds should be long enough that our brains don't hear that as like a pattern. It's just like, oh, here's 2 parts playing together. Even though one part is only 20 seconds old, you know. So this is full mix. And then what else are we doing to it? So I'm doing this delay. I'm rolling off a bunch of the low end because it was pretty tubby. I'm doing a crazy compression on it to just smash it. I think at some point it'll hit. Yeah, there we go. Just in an effort to make this, since this is already a lo-fi track, make it like more lo-fi. Just make it sound like it's pumping and it's being smashed, you know? So that, and then the last thing on this bus is this Panman plugin. So it is, you know, messing with the left-right imaging of this. So you hear it be right heavy and left heavy sometimes, not just stay in the same spot. So that's this, but the big trick here is that I felt like this track by itself, overlaid on the main track, didn't fit well. It didn't feel like it melded with it. So here's what I did. I did a pre-fader send from bus 1 to bus 2. So this is bus 1, the delay bus. I did a pre-fader send to bus 2. Turned it up to full send, so 0 dB send. But then I can turn this fader down. So I'm not hearing that source audio anymore. But if I unmute the reverb here, we're gonna hear that track being sent through the reverb. So now this reverb bus is receiving both the pedalboard audio and that processed delay audio, which, if you'll remember, is 20 seconds behind in the left channel and 40 seconds behind in the right channel from the pedalboard. So you'll hear at some points where that texture should sort of pop through just in the reverb, though. We're only hearing it wet, you know? And yeah, the last part of this is just the master bus processing, which, what did I do? Another compressor. This one's pretty subtle, I believe. Another master bus soothe to take care of some more harsh high-end stuff that I was hearing. Another little EQ, more low-end roll-off because more had built up. Some high-end taming again. Then a limiter, so that I could release it at a good volume. And folks, that's it. That's the whole thing. This is now a piece that I feel happy with releasing, and I'm stoked about it, so. That's how you mix and process one stereo ambient track, potentially. Not bad, huh?